Hi everybody, I'm here to show you my deck list from the Italian Open. I made the top 32 and I liked a lot the deck. So now I'll show you the list and I'll say to you how it's gone and what decks I had to face and what kind of plays I did in the tournament. The tournament was a tournament of 9 Swiss rounds, 425 players, and I faced 5 Sprite deck and 1 Tearlaments Sprite and 3 Tearlaments. I made 6 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. And I played Tearlaments. I played 2 Reinhardt. I didn't miss the 3rd copy. And I played 3 of each name. Okay. Then I played 2 Scream. I played 1 Saliek. And I played 1 Crime. In the extra deck I played 1 each of the fusions and 1 Heartbeat in the side deck. Then I played obviously 3 Perlorino, 1 fusion, 1 instant fusion. Okay, obviously the strongest card of the deck. And I liked a lot these ratios to Reinhardt and to Scream, because I think 3 Scream could be too much in the deck, and the third, I would like to play 3 Reinhardt, but with my teammates we thought 2 were enough. Maybe 3 is good too. In the tournament I never need the 3rd one, but I'd like to play 2 because of spaces, and because I wanted to play 40 cards maximum, and then I decided to cut 1 Reinhardt and play 2 copies instead of 3. This is the Tearlaments core, 20 cards. I played obviously the Ishizus. Now I'll show you the Ishizu I played. So I played obviously 3 Caldo, 3 Mudara. I didn't play the traps, but I played 1 Caldo and 1 Agido. This ratio was perfect to me, because Caldo is the strongest one, because reshuffle in the mirror match is the opponent's target is very strong, and when you don't go in the mirror match you can reshuffle your own resources, and it's very good, like Mudora. But Caldo open you the Xyz play before of milling. You can open with Dweller and active after the Dweller the milling effects, even in mirror match, because with Dweller the opponent cannot active the graveyard effects. So Caldo is the strongest one. Mudora is good too, because of the reshuffling effect, but it's not good as the Caldo. 3 and 3 is mandatory now, I think. Then I played only 1 Calbeck and 1 Agido, because I thought of I thought before the tournament to be set against the mirror match, but I didn't like to play 3 or 2 callback because I think it's not as good interruption as everyone says, or the major of the duelists say, because make compulsory I don't think is so good, and I prefer to have the second name to mill 10 cards against non-mirror match games. And this was the best choice I could do, because every time against Sprite I could mill 10 instead of only 5 if I played only callback. And in mirror match I was confident because with only 2 milling names I can afford the mirror match better. So I very like this ratio, and I think it's the smartest one if you expect a lot of mirror matches, but you want to be set against non-mirror matches too. So I think this ratio is perfect. After that I played Bystials, because Tearlaments is the best deck, so I wanted to be set against the mirror match, and I played 7 Bystials. The choice was very good to play 1 Sarnier, because against non-mirror matches I always decide 5 Bystials and remain with 2 Druidworm, because Druidworm is good against Pride, okay, but I would side deck against Flow Wanderers with 2 Druidworm too, because it's a good extender, and against Shifter you could special summon this before the statue, and you could use the Druidworm with 1 normal summon to attack the statue and out the lock. So I think it's a good card. The other ones were very good in mirror match, obviously. I like the 1 Sarnier because it's the weakest one, but I think you need it to have more names in the end, and you could add it with the Magnumut if you already have the Druidworm in the hand. And you could use Sarnier to chainlock your plays, like I don't know, the Sprint. You could link summon Sprint with the Sarnier and Emerly, for example, and you could use Sprint in chainlink 1 and Sarnier in chainlink 2, so you can chainlock the Sprint. It's a good play, so I like to play this kind of ratio. And the last 5 cards were the impermanence, 3 impermanence. I think at the moment this card is mandatory, because it's very good in mirror match, because impermanence, the Kit Kalos, it's very good, and in general it's a very strong card, and it avoids the TTT, the talent, so I think it's mandatory. You could play it even if you play the Bystials, because in a mirror match, if you have 1 Bystial and 1 impermanence, you prefer not active the Bystial and wait to activate the impermanence on the Kit Kalos, and after Kit Kalos you could use the Bystial you have in the hand to negate a fusion summon, banishing the name. So it's good even if you have a Bystials in hand. If you have 2 Bystials in hand and 1 impermanence, you prefer in mirror match activate the 2 Bystials. So you don't use the impermanence, but it's a rare case. Not so you prefer play the impermanence, because against the non-mirror matches like Flow Wanderers, you could negate the statue, or against Sprite you can negate the Gigantic or the Elf to prevent the Toad play. So it's a very good card. And the last two cards in the main deck were two super polymerizations. They were very strong in the tournament to me, because I faced 5 sprites. So have this card in the main deck to me was very strong. And even in the mirror matches, I played some in some spots. This card was very good. For example, I fusioned two Bystials on the uh, side of my opponent. I made a Garura, and after that I made one of my Bystials, and with Garura and the Bystial I could play. I could go for the Beatrice play. So this was very good to play. And in mirror match I could use it to discard the Ishizus, the shuffling ones. So I could use it to make us some cool plays, and I like this card a lot. Um, Even with the Wallow, I use super polymerization to make Garura, and with my Bystial, I could go to the Wallow play too. So with Garura and the Mad Dragon, Super Poly was very good, a very good card, and I liked it all the tournament. Obviously, I was lucky to not face the Flow Wanderers matchup that I hate a lot, but it it was okay. So I really enjoy the super polymerization. This was the main deck. The extra deck I played as I show the three Tearlaments fusion, one each. The Wallow, the Batteries, and the Madragon and the Garura, as I show right now. The last fusion I played was the obviously the Predplant, the Dracostapelia. It's mandatory, and it's very good against rogue matchups, or against Wanderers, against Sprite. So it's mandatory. You can recycle the Garura too, or Madragon, Kikalos, etc. And against branded, it's useful to use the super polymerization. So it's a very good card. I played 3 links. I played the Sprite Elf, of course. I played the Sprint, of course, mandatory, and I played the Dark, of course. I think these 3 links are mandatory, and they were very good in the tournament to me, because with Elf I could play in the opponent tournament with Merrily. I could use it to have to summon Merrily in my turn, and already have the Tearlaments on the field to activate the counter before entering in the main phase. So it's very good. And I played Sprint because I could fusion summon from the deck, sending Merrily. So it's mandatory, because with Dark too I can do Dark with the 2 random monsters, of course one Dark monster, and after Dark I could special summon 1 Dark monster from the opponent's graveyard, and after that use these 2 cards to summon Sprint and fusion summon, even if I don't have any Tearlaments in the hand. So it's very good. Play these 3 links, and after that I played 6 Xyz. So in total I played 6 fusions, 6 Xyz, and 3 links. I played Beatrice and Wallow, as I showed before. I played Zeus, of course. I played Dweller, of course, it's mandatory. And I played Red Duer. It was very good in the tournament, because this card is good to fusion summon in the opponent's turn with Shurain. and it's useful against rogue decks for the effects to banish itself and have always a body to in the on the field and draw cards or place one face-up card of the opponent on top of the deck if I steal a trap card. So it's very good. And I played the Bakuska, obviously, because it's a very strong Xyz against Flowanories, against Mirror Match. I could use it to make the Zeus play against Mirror Match without risking the Saliak, because in attack position Baguska is untargetable. So I could attack with my Baguska without uh, without any interruption of my opponent. So it's mandatory. It's a very good card. And this was my extra deck. Now I'll show you my side deck. I played one Heartbeat, as I said, and after that I played, of course, the Volcanic, because nowadays it's mandatory. The games are very long, and you need a time play to face slow opponents. And I played two Bells. This card was the MVP of the tournament. I liked a lot this card. It was very strong because it prevents Bystials against Sprite decks, and it prevents the totally awesome play negating the elf on the Swap Frog. And in the mirror match is strong to prevent the Bystials, of course, but the fusion summons too in certain spots. So it's very good, and I liked it a lot. It was very strong. I played 3 Ghost Sisters because this card is very good in general because the opponent stops the combo. If you use this card, it's a sort of Maxi or a sort of Nibiru because the opponent stops, and I think it's a very good card. And in against OTK decks, it prevents the OTK, so I liked to play it, and it was useful. I played one Necro Banshee and so played one Necro Banshee and 2 Zombie Wards against Flowanories. I never side these 3 cards because I never faced the Flowanories matchup. I was lucky because I hate Flowanories and it's a tough matchup, so I prefer to waste 3 side slots, but I know it was dangerous not play any cards against Flowanories. I played 2 Twin Twisters because they are strong versus Flowanories and versus Anti-Spell Fragrance. So I liked it. I sided against Tearlaments and Sprite in certain spots, going second because I want to destroy the counter or the Sprite trap card. So it was very good, even to prevent the Anti-Spell Fragrance. I liked a lot this card, so I use it in the side deck. After that, I played 3 Dark Ruler No More. This card was strongful, very strong. It could be strong against Flowanories, but it was really strong against Sprite. And let me play against boards, really strong boards with Totally Awesome and other negations. So this card was very strong. I liked a lot, and I was happy to have this card in the side deck. The 15th card was the Heartbeat, as I said before. So 40 cards in the main deck, 15 side, 15 extra deck. This was my decklist. I could show you some of my hand to make a symbol. I liked to this is a very strong card, Instant Fusion and Perlerino, but even even without this, I liked a lot starting with Shrine and Perlerino and Renard with my another Tearlaments in the hand, because I could avoid the the Bystials, because if I start with a hand like this, I could have the Renard in the end, and after that discard it to activate Shrine and special summon. Okay, to graveyard, milling 3 cards to 3. I didn't like to mill blindly, so if I didn't know the matchup, I didn't use the Agito or Kelbeck. I prefer to not mill and use my other effects. In this case, I could fusion summon with Mary, so I could activate this in Chainlink 1 and this one in Chainlink 2, because even if my opponent had the Bystial, it's not important the Chainlink. He could banish my Mary even in Chainlink 1, so I prefer to prevent the negation of the Renard in the graveyard. So in this case, I could use the Mary. Okay, I could summon the Kid Kalos, the strongest monster of the deck, and after that summon the Renard to the graveyard to send the Avnis. Avnis is the first name you want to mill, because it's not searchable by Sprint, and it's not useful as a Shrine with a Redoer, for example. So I could use in chain these two. In this case, I prefer to use this one in chain link 1 and this in chain link 2. I could use the Renard to send the Mary, even though I already use it, because I want it to the graveyard, do special summon with Kid Kalos, and do the maybe the elf play, or and mill 8 cards without wasting the Kid Kalos at with to have the trap in the end and not the Mary. So I could search the trap card instead of Mary, and so I had to choose the Avnis or Mary. It depends on you. In this case, you could go for the Mary play, because with if your opponent hadn't the Bystial, you could use the 8 mills to mill another names to fusion summon. So this could stay in the main deck shuffle. Okay, Kit Kalos effects on melee, meal 8. I always suggest to summon your monster in the not in the middle column and not in the external columns, because you prefer have these choices to prevent the targeting effects with your elf. So you need these 3 spots. Now I always use the Sarnier if I need it, because I don't want to draw a Bystial but other strong cards. In this case I could use the Shrine to make a Garura. In this case I could make the effect Shrine Chainlink 1, effect Sarnier Chainlink 2. So I could send the Treesworm to the graveyard, Shrine to bottom deck, and Kit or that the Mary. Okay, I could stay with the Kit in the graveyard to use it for Rule Kalos or Stapelia. So to grave. Okay, draw 1. I didn't put this on the bottom, so okay, bottom, draw 1. Okay, now I could use it to special summon it, but I could normal summon it to make a Dweller in this case, but I now add the Kaldur for the next turn. So Dweller under the elf, as I said before. Now I activate the elf to summon Merely, because in this case I could use Saliek before the main phase if my opponent want to do something, and now I could pass the turn. It's a very good turn. I can fusion summon with Saliek in my opponent turn. I have Dweller to face the Tearlaments matchup, but the Sprite matchup too, because of the angler, and I like very much this kind of play. If I could use the Avnis too, in this case I'd play the Dracostapelia and not the Rule Kalos with the Kit, because in this case I can avoid I could avoid the super polymerization with to activate the Dweller without risking the super polymerization with Rule Kalos and the Dweller before intro phase. So I can activate my Dweller intro phase against a mirror match. It's very strong. So Stapelia is better than Rule Kalos in this situation to avoid super polymerization, and Stapelia is a good card too. So this is a solid field. You like to play. In this case, you have the Bystial too, so you are in a good spot now. And even in the mirror match, you have the Bystial and 2 Shuffler. You have the Dweller. You have the Saliek 2 Fusion Summon, negate the effect, and the Elf to summon back the Merely if it will go to the graveyard. So it's good. That's all. I hope you enjoyed the video, my deck profile and my explanations. If you want some other suggestions, you could leave a comment, and see you in the next video. Bye.